And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show, presented by Marshall Hometown Tire, everyone's favorite sponsor. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein, and I'm going to be taking over this week for Adam P. Ledyard. And I am very fortunate to have with me the head coach of your ETBU Tigers football team, Brian Mayper, who, of course, is coming off a tremendous victory over Sera State University. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first of all, Coach, I think the biggest challenge for any sports team when it comes to traveling out to Sera State is driving the long 10-hour bus ride over from Marshall all the way down. You got to go through multiple towns and all that. Got to see the West Texas side of things. But just talk about the trip from an overall perspective as far as getting there.
Well, it's obviously a long trip, so we try to break it up. We stopped at New York Hill. That's kind of my go-to stop place in Thurber, and they do a great job. I mean, obviously, when you're feeding 75, 80 people at one time, so it gives us time to get out and stretch, about 3.5-hour drive, and then we went to UTPB. Coach Kerrigan, good to us and allowed us to go to their, well, I guess it will be their stadium at some point, but it's a turf field. So we got to do our walk through there, and then another 3.5 hours or so on the bus to Fort Stockton. Not much to do in Fort Stockton. There was a pool, so we got there about 8 o'clock, had dinner, and then guys just hung out, went to McDonald's, which was kind of attached to the parking lot. So McDonald's was happy, and then the pool time. So with a late game, let them have curfew about 6, so everybody stayed up and watched Friday night football games.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and obviously for some of these players and all that, having not been out there, it kind of does feel like a bit of a culture shock to them as well, the difference between being here in East Texas and being over there in West Texas.
Oh, yeah. Some of the guys had commented they hadn't seen hills before, or mountainous hills, I guess. So
yeah, definitely.
Different terrain.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, Coach, we saw you post an Instagram picture of this glorious, beautiful sunset and all that because obviously, Texas kind of has this reputation, I'm sure with other U.S. states, but obviously sunsets, in my opinion, are probably the best around here. But just kind of talk about that particular picture that you posted and, what it truly meant for well, I guess from the team standpoint, that never seen a sunset like that.
No, I mean, it's just, that's the amazing thing, especially with the trips we've traveled, up to Wisconsin, then out to Alpine, is just seeing God's beauty and everything. It's truly amazing, and just let our guys be appreciative of it. So it's, it just kind of happened to look up from the movie. I don't know what movie we were watching. I think we were watching, what's the Friday Night Lights? So kind of fitting for Mojo and going through Odessa, so that was then looked up and there it was. So yeah, God's beauty's all around us.
Perfect timing, I guess you could say. If you can't choose a movie, you might as well go with a football movie as well. So the game itself against Sera State University, obviously you entered going 0-2, looking for a win, and of course, all around it seemed like everybody was kind of built into what you were kind of preaching about Hennitas in a way. But, just from a game perspective, just kind of talk about everything that, happened in that game, like offensively and defensively. It seemed like everyone was just in sync from the get-go.
Oh, yeah. And that's what we got to feed off each other in every different phase. I mean, we started off and kicked off to them. So first time, I think we deferred, won the toss and deferred, so decided to go with something different. 3 and out, stopped them. Short punt, and then didn't do anything offensively. Then defense answered the call again. Didn't do much offensively. Defense answered the call again, stopped them. Then we finally got on the board and just started scoring. Defense got several turnovers. Had 2 goal line stands. One that was a big interception from Terrence Allen on the 1 yard line. They tried a kind of a fake run, kind of dump pass, I guess, to the tight end or running back. And Terrence was able to see it and make a play on it. So, yeah, it was a great effort for everybody. We had a few injuries, so a lot of guys got to get in and play that hadn't played a whole bunch. But defensively, they did a great job out there. Offensively, did a great job too. And special teams, I mean, probably the first time on special teams that we had all types of guys make plays. Mo was back there we were expecting them to onside the ball late, and they kicked it deep to our hands team. Everybody locked on a guy, and we returned it, I think, 60 yards. So that's always good when you got guys that are expected to field the onside, do that. And then, Caleb got hurt early, dropped a punt, and so Alberto came in there and had the kickoff duties. And I thought he did a tremendous job. I mean, we pooched some and pooched it pretty high to the 25, and they fair caught them all. Then he did a good job on extra points too. So we had a few key players that we always do a player the MVP of the game. So defensively, first Chad Pajeska, guy that didn't play at all last year, stepped up and I think he had 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a quarterback pressure. So did a super job there. Chad he's come a long way from where he was last year, and we're excited about his ability right now, his playing performance. Offensively, there were several guys. Of course, J-Rob has another great game. Ward does a great job. We had a throwback that he scored on and several runs. Keyshawn Alexander did good. Baca did good, of course. SP had several catches for touchdowns. But we thought when our center kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit, Alex Schaefer stepped in and had a tremendous game. And for a guy that didn't play at all, here he goes in his first ball game, getting to play about 2.5 quarters, and thought he did a great job. So Alex was our MVP offensively, which is always good to give it to offensive linemen. And then special teams, we got a block on their first extra point, and it came down to Devarian Guyton just blowing the guy up, kind of doing what he's coached to do. And the results of it was we got the block kick. So, we thought we did good in every phase.
Absolutely, Coach. Just seemed like a perfect all-around game doing well, and I'm kind of glad you pointed out the team MVPs or Players of the Week, because that was going to be my next question, but got that out of the way. So, of course, obviously, you kind of need to put this win in the backseat, because this week you're back home once again, and now you're taking on a Belhaven team that is coming in, and of course, with Belhaven, they can always be a pretty good challenge as well. I mean, last year y'all went up there and took care of business down there. But this year, obviously, it could be a different story. But just kind of, talking about preparations for Belhaven, what we could expect to see from them, and how you guys need to, sort of get yourself ready for that.
Again, it's just us focusing on ourselves. What we do well, just playing hard and being mistake-free. Obviously, we made mistakes in the last game. We're just going to correct those and try to put a complete game together. Mistake-free, scoring. Obviously, you want to score every time you have the ball, and defensively, just needs to keep on doing what we're doing and shutting people out and keeping them from the end zone and getting turnovers. So, and the special teams keeps on improving. So, Coach McCorkle, it's I believe his second year also. I think he got there the same time I did. So he's kind of establishing a culture there, and they get after it too. I mean, they play pretty hard. Played McMurray. And took care of them. I think it was like 48 to 14, kind of similar score versus us and Sol Ross. So, you're looking at two teams that have one conference win, and looking to kind of improve their status in the conference.
Absolutely, Coach. And of course, the main theme, obviously, the big theme is Hennitas for the team as well. I mean, when you enter, last week 0-2, trying to figure out how to get a win and all that. Where does that, theme kind of play into the fact that you've dealt with this adversity entering that weekend, and then, of course, coming with a win? And how will it seem to play out for this coming week?
Oh, I mean, it's everything. It's what we're about. We had, like I said, a few guys that were injured that didn't get to play this game. Aaron Buckley, who's been a key player for us, and AC wasn't there. So there were several guys that didn't get to play, and then we had a couple guys go out right at the beginning of the game, and then the next guy steps up, and that's what we're about. Is it doesn't matter who's in there, we're all part in this together, and we're going to find a way to get it completed together, and that's kind of the direction we're moving. So probably the way our guys respond, there's not any negativity on our team. We all just encourage each other, so it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Coach. All right. Well, best of luck to you this weekend or against Belhaven, as you will be taking them on. And we will wish you obviously the best of luck, as we will have more with head coach Brian Mayper on the upcoming weekly show presented by Marshall Hometown Tire.